Hi friends, this is Pastor Lucas Pin and this is your snack for the journey. And this week we're flying by 2Samuel, book with a lot of drama, a lot of stories, beautiful stories, and it's hard to pick one verse here, one verse there, one last here, because it's full of lessons and stories, and a lot of pain, on this book, because there is a lot of drama here. But I'd like to share a verse that is very interesting because it's right in the story. We didn't have time to go to one of the biggest dramas of David with his son Absalom. Absalom killed his brother, fled, and stay out, and it was a very tough situation for David to deal with Absalom because he was the next one to become a king, and it was tough for David, and he delayed bringing back his son to Jerusalem, and until Joab, the commander of David, decided to help Absalom, kind of give him a little push, and Joab decided to help Absalom, and he sent a woman to trick David to convince him to bring Absalom back. And this lady, a very wise woman, went to David and complained about the things, and at the end she said, "Look, I'm talking about your son." And there is a verse that for me is one of the most beautiful verses that we have in the book of Samuel, probably in the Old Testament. What that lady says to David to convince David to bring Absalom back home, the son back home. It's in the 2 Samuel chapter 14, verse 14. So it's very easy to memorize that. Look what she said. "Like water is spilled on the ground, which cannot be recovered, so we must die. But God does not take away life. Instead, he devises ways so that a banished person may not remain estranged from him." It's a great verse that she says we all have to die. We're all gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. We're like a water spill on the ground which cannot be recovered, so we must die. It's the done deal. But God does not take away life. Instead, he devises ways. He creates plans, opportunities. He works behind the scenes that the banished person may not remain estranged from him. It isn't what God did for you and for me? Yes. He didn't want me to die, and so he created ways to bring me back to him. And he did that with you, and he wants to do that with other people. It's the beauty of God and the plan of God, and the gospel here is that God does not want us to die. He doesn't want anybody to die. He creates opportunities and plans, and so devises ways, she said, so the banished person may not remain estranged from him. I don't know, maybe this is the strange way that God will call you. And maybe it's another way. I don't know what God is going to do and how he's going to do it, because he does not have the intention to kill you, but he devises plans to bring you back to him. That is the beauty of the gospel, and it's a beautiful message. It's a beautiful message, and I hope you can understand, you can believe, you can accept, you can respond to that. That God does not want you to die, but he is working finding ways to bring you back. It's a great God. He's a great God. And this is your snack for the journey. God bless you.